What's happening, guys? Good morning. Time to wrestle the markets. Now that we got all the shit out of the way, one more thing to get through this week. And that, my friends, is going to be the rate hikes Wednesday. God, just get through rate hikes and maybe the markets will be pretty chill again. Berta, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Usual schedule this morning. Going to cover the markets, dollar, equity markets, rates. Then we're going to head into Forex and then commodities, gold and oil, and then futures. All right, let's do it. First things first, don't really have any news events planned for the day, or I guess economic events planned for the day. Only thing to keep an eye on is pound bank holiday. So if you're trading anything involving the pound, there's no pound volume in the markets today, so that will change the way the markets move. Keep that in mind. Need to leave in 45 minutes, but happy to join for a bit. I am happy to have you for 45 minutes. Looking at the dollar in here on the, let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly, because weekly is now, it's a new week. It's a new week, so let's take a look and see what's going on. Pretty fantastic price action here. Last week, dipped down into that 108 retest area, consolidating above 108 breakout. Now, last week, printed a nice bullish engulfing, creating an upper wick, currently opening and pushing up into this wick zone. And so now we don't know if we continue this bullish momentum after the bullish engulfing and continue out of here, or if we're going to maintain a little longer this consolidation zone on the weekly chart. Taking a look at the daily. The nice massive bar from CPI. We're now consolidating at highs here around 109, 110 area. And so now it kind of tells me that, okay, we're consolidating and resting after this massive move from CPI. And so now what we're doing is we're kind of cooling off a little bit before we now continue on higher. Because like I mentioned the other day, there's two types of cooling off periods. There's either a consolidation and then a continuation, or there's a pullback and then a continuation. And in this case, it seems like it's consolidating for like a week before we continue on out of here. But yeah, one thing to keep an eye on and watch for the dollar's technicals here is maintaining these higher lows. So if we give up 109.50, this area right in here, then it's looking like it wants to fill that move from CPI last week. However, I find that unlikely. Now that we're breaking through highs here, we should find some support at this 110 breakout and then continue and rally back towards the highs of 110.60. But as far as today's concerned, dollar is strong and pushing bullish today, and so we'll see if we can maintain that bullish stance. Equities, overall market, the S&P continuing down. If you look at the, let's take a look at the weekly chart. Last week, massive rejection off of CPI. And so you see right here, you got this pretty big bearish engulfing, closing below this previous liquidity zone in here of 39.20. Now we're breaking below 3,900. and we're breaking below last week's wick already, last week's low. Looking at the daily, not even oversold yet, so plenty of room to go. Friday closed with a decent wick, rejection wick, to this previous area that we've rejected before. Current daily is already filled that wick and breaking the low of Friday. And so we're looking like we're heading down lower today. If we can push through this zone right in here, then it's pretty clean move down to 3,700, back down towards lows. But like I said, this is going to be an area that needs to fight through. Seems like there's enough bearish momentum, however, in the markets to give us a continuation down. Looking at the current day's price action, overnight session giving us a pullback and push down. Currently, it seems like we're finding a break of the low. We're going to rally a little bit out of there and then continue down during New York session is what it's looking like. So as far as for the day, I'd like to see sells in New York session, maybe after a pullback, and then a continuation down would be ideal. Looking at the rates are breaking through highs here. Just broke through its most recent high for the last time it was up at these levels was back in 2011. So now we're breaking through 2022 highs, reaching 2011 price action. 3.60. Going to be the first area to keep an eye on for next area of resistance. And then 3.74. So looking for a continuation out of here. This should give us some more strength in the dollar as well. Overseas markets, pretty weak, maintaining their bearish continuation as well. FTSE, Hang Seng, and DAX all weak overnight, so expecting at least to stay near lows for the day. All right, let's take a look at Forex. Pound yen, pound AUD, euro JPY. But keep in mind, again, it is the pound holiday, so there's going to be less volume in the pound pairs. Pound yen, pound AUD, going to be less volume, so we'll see if euro JPY has any better setups. Otherwise, it might just be a commodity type of day with gold and oil. But let's take a look. I'm going to remove all drawings, start fresh for the week. And we're going to start on the weekly chart. All right, looking at last week. It seems like we were going to continue off of this extreme bullish breakout here, and we were going to get a nice continuation through 170. Didn't get that, and we ran into a wall of sellers, where we've seen a wall of sellers in the past since, I guess, since April of this year. A lot of wicks and a lot of rejection in this area. And so you saw last week, we ran into the same resistance and we fell off pretty hard from it. And so going off of historical price action and how it typically plays in this area here, if you take a look at the last couple times we rejected, one here, one here, one here. What happens after we get that massive rejection? Following week, pretty bearish. Following week, pretty bearish. Following week, pretty bearish, right? So every time we get this massive rejection of this area here, we get a follow through of that bearish momentum back down towards 160. And that will kind of give me the thesis on the equity markets that we're going to continue lower as well. So currently looking at the weekly, we are getting a little bit of a pop here, giving us an upper wick, as did the last few weeks right here. Upper wick before we dumped, or in this case it was this upper wick before we dumped. Right here, this upper wick before we dumped. And you can see that every other week has upper wicks as well. So we are currently creating our liquidity wick to the upside, grabbing some orders and some liquidity before we break the lows and head back down towards 160. And so I will be looking for sells for a continuation of last week. Looking at the daily is running into an area that really it should reject, right? I mean, if you look at where it's running into, it's this previous area back from May that had some massive rejection, had a nice rejection in June, nice rejection in June again, a bunch of rejections in July here, a bunch of rejections here in August, and now after we had closed back below this zone here Friday, we're now pushing up a little bit to give us another potential rejection of this zone to then flip bearish and push back down and fill this move to back towards 160. And so I will be looking for sells today somewhere in this zone. However, let's delete this zone and draw. This is really the max pain, max pullback we should see in pound yen. Ideally, if we can get a break below this 163, 175 area, 160 area, then it would give us that rejection wick, because that is where all of the bodies seem to be placed in this zone here. So that would give us a rejection wick, start pushing potentially bearish, and then giving us a continuation down. Looking at the 4 hour, this whole area in the 4 hour, same story on the daily, just more information here. A lot of continued rejection as we were talking about. If we do, and if we have enough momentum to break through this current consolidation phase, I think that we find 164 and then fail from there. Because I've mentioned this before a lot of times, that when you have strong bearish price action like this, and you see a lot of bearish candles printing, look for that one bullish candle, that one outlier, and that will give you an area that you can expect it to reject, an area that it might gravitate towards and then continue its descent lower. And so what you want to look for is then place a line at the open of that candlestick right here, and that's where we could potentially retest and then reject and then continue down. It may not reach it, but I'm just saying if it does have enough momentum to continue out of this consolidation up, that's an area that I would look for a rejection and a short off of. However, if we do start printing some rejection in this 163,500 area, as we have seen Friday and pre-market, or I guess overnight price action, then we'll look for shorts. Not looking for buys today. Overall momentum is bearish on every time frame. So overall, this 163,400 area, this is where I'd like to see our rejection. I'd like to see a bearish candle print against this zone, something like this, something like this, to where then once it prints bearish, I could look for sells back down towards lows and potentially even a continuation past lows. I would need something to form similar to this or this. I wouldn't want to see something like this because that would be too big of a stop loss. I want to see a smaller full bearish candle print. Then I'll look for a break of lows. If it does print too big, then I'll look for simply a break of 162, 880 area, 870. I'll look for a break of these lows here, and I'll short. And I'll short off these lows for a continuation down. Looking left, this is the first area that I would look for as a potential take profit, 162,600. And so from where current price action is, that's around 75 pips away. From this break here, 26 pips away. However, keep in mind that it is a pound holiday, so we could very well maintain consolidation in this range here, blowing off that move, or I guess cooling off from that move Friday. And then when pound volume comes back in tomorrow, we can then get that break and continuation down. So that's one thing that may happen. However, this range is 50 pips, and it's since recent price action, it's fairly clean. So I might consider sells in this range. Not going to get chopped up though. It's a Monday. It's a new week and it's a pound holiday. So I'm not going to force any trades. But if it does present itself, and we do get some kind of clean print, something similar to this right here, then I would look for sells for a pushback down towards the bottom end of the consolidation. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how it prints here. And we'll wait for candle closes on this one. And then we have a 30-minute close in 7 minutes. So we'll come back to pound yen at 7:30 Eastern. Let's take a look at the other pound pair, pound AUD. We're going to start on the weekly. Delete these levels here. Minimize view up. All right, cool. So looking at the weekly chart, because it is a new week, last week printed a pretty strong rejection to this previous breakdown point of 172. Closed bearish, and now current week has no lower wick, and we're heading up into this wick area here to potentially find another rejection and then a continuation lower. We are in a pretty strong consolidation right now. For the last 2 months, month and a half, we've been sitting in this consolidation. Friday, it seems like the strong rejection area is going to be right around 171 on the upside, and a strong rejection to the downside is around 169, which is also the monthly low back from 2017, November 2017. And that's the monthly low from November of 2017. So that's the strong area of rejection to the downside as well. Range, 210 pips, plenty of range to play on the daily. And so looking at Friday's price action, closed with a big rejection, massive bearish candle, no bottom wick, Current candle rebounding a little bit, running into this wick area right in here. So this is a potential area to keep an eye on for a reversal and a sell on pound AUD. We'll kind of mark it right there at the line. Looking at the 4-hour, confirms this area here, but with more detail. Looking at it in here, a lot of rejection back in August, a lot of rejection beginning of September, as well as September 7th in here. This whole area, very, very strong. I guess it's more or less the neutral point for this consolidation here. It's where the bulls or bears are going to be in control. And right now, the bears are in control as long as we're below this 170, 342 level. Look at the 4-hour candle. Last 4-hour candle gave us this nice rejection wick, pulled off a little bit. Current 4-hour candle pulled back a little bit, and we're now heading back up to retest this rejection. And so we don't know yet if we reject it and roll back over towards lows, or if we break through it and rally back up towards 71 highs. Looking for the shorts, however, for myself, looking at the 1-hour. Good morning, Simon. Looking forward to oil analysis. I am really excited because oil should have some good plays. I glanced at it earlier, and it looks like it's going to have some really good plays today. But I'll be going through that soon, probably in the next 15 minutes. Looking at the 1-hour on pound AUD, coming up into this big area where we have shown a lot of rejection, coming up into this previous overnight session high. And we're now running into the resistance currently. And so I'm looking for shorts off this area here. Ideal shorts would be a break below 171, 123, 171, or 170, 100 area. This would be the ideal shorts. Then we get a push to back down towards the lows, and that's around 32 pips. This is the open of the week, and so if we can go from green to red, that should give us enough bearish momentum to continue down. And so this is just creating our upper wick, retesting the rejection areas, and then we're going to fail from here. So looking for shorts up in this zone. If we can come up and retest it at 173.40 and print a bearish candle, I might look for sells up here, stops above the highs, looking for a push back down towards weekly lows. Again, so looking for sells on pound today. There's no pound volume, so you would probably expect to get some strength in the cross pairs as far as AUD, yen. You would expect them to have a little more strength in them, considering that pound volumes closed today. But we'll see. I mean, they're both running into some pretty strong rejection zones. And without pound volume, can you really expect to break through with force and with strength? Unlikely, but it's very possible. And if I don't get the sells on pound yen or pound AUD, then I will not be trading today. Well, at least Forex. Last but certainly not least, Euro JPY, because we don't have a pound in this cross pair, in this pair here. And so it'll have normal volume. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Get rid of some of these lines in here, clean it up, beginning of the week. Cool. And I'll leave this 2018 high sitting there. This level looking left, is it relevant? Is it relevant? Yes. We'll take it off for now though. All right, cool. Looking at the weekly chart. A couple things I'm looking at right here. last week, first things first, looking at the area that we just broke above, we're now, last week, we printed a pretty strong rejection running into this area, running into this area here that we've had a lot of rejection before. So we're now sitting in this zone right now. Last week printed a pretty strong rejection, closed bearish. However, we did close bearish above this zone in here, printing a nice retest wick. And so current weekly candle gave us a lower wick to retest this zone, and now we're pushing higher. And so we don't know yet if we're going to fill this wick and continue towards 146 highs, or if this is just creating a retest of these wicks to then break down lower into this zone. See if we can get a better idea on the lower time frames. The daily chart's looking pretty good here, potentially for a continuation. So I'm going to leave this zone here because this was the weekly level that we're now sitting above, and that's where this support comes in play. And now looking at daily levels, we're flagging at this high right here. We seem to be flagging at this high and consolidating, and so pretty clean levels to look for. Right now, Friday, closed bearish, but with a pretty decent rejection to the downside. Current daily gave us a wick retest, and now we're pushing back up towards the high of Thursday and Friday of last week. Four-hour overnight session on the 4-hour chart seems to have had no volume, and it was consolidating pretty tight in here, very little range. Current 4-hour, I probably want to see it close first, just because I don't want to see a rejection and another doji, because that's what, right here on the last 4-hour candle. We were seeing some pretty strong bearish momentum below all these previous dojis, and then it closed with a wick and a doji. I don't want to see this again close with a wick and a doji as well. And so I'd want to see this 4-hour candle potentially close looking at the 1-hour, a nice breakout of a wedge in here. Ideally, we run into this resistance here, pull back, retest, and then buy out of here. That would be the ideal play. Looking at the 30-minute as well, same story. On the 30-minute, I'd like to see a pullback, retest of 143.300. I'll look for buys with support being found, and then we'll look for a run back up towards 143.900 area. A very clean range looking left, back up towards 144. And so range in that pullback would be around 80 pips. So looking for Euro JPY longs today. Shorts, not in play. No real clean range to play off of. So only looking for longs on a retest of this breakout. Alrighty, you know what time it is. As we wait for price action in Forex to give me what I want and print some more closed volume, while we wait for that to happen, because we already have all the setups we're looking for, we just need some more data and closed volume to give us an entry. And so while we wait for that, it is time It's time, Simon. It's time for some commodities. Forex is good. Waiting for that. Commodities, gold and oil. Man, oh man, oil taking a spill. Let's just dive right into oil first. Man. All right. Let's take a look at the weekly. Delete some of this out of here. Man. Not looking good for you oil bulls. Luckily, I'm a day trader and I don't have a bias. And I don't care if it goes up or down. I just want to make money either way. So, not looking good for the oil bulls. That's for sure. Taking a look at the weekly chart. Lows back November of 2020. Lows of November of 2021. And this breakdown point back in August. I had a nice couple wick retests in August. And now September, rejecting that breakdown point and pushing lower. And so now, I mean, I talked about this August 1st, back when we had this breakdown here. I think it was August 1st. It was somewhere in this consolidation. I mentioned that, look, technically, we're looking for shorts here, and we're heading back down towards, let's say, 66. But I couldn't believe that fundamentals would allow oil to go that low, given OPEC's trying to prop them up, given the supply issues. However, I guess it doesn't really care, and oil's going to just go down lower anyway. So here we go. Here we are. Continuing lower, and so looking for sells. I'm not going to try to fight this price action here. The obvious momentum, I guess, on where it really wants to head. Fundamentals and bias aside, it's bearish, right? Looking at this consolidation pattern right here that it just broke through, we're now leaving it and we're heading back down. Very, very clean price action looking left on the weekly chart. Weekly chart printed at the lows of breakdown for 2 weeks. Surprised to see us push this in the overnight session. Yeah, honestly, I am too. I'm very surprised that we're seeing this. The overnight session is actually extremely weak. It's a little surprising to me, which makes me concerned. Not really concerned, but like, I don't know. It's going to be a tough trader. I don't know if I'm going to look for a bounce play and look for something like this, or if I just don't want to fight. I don't want to swim against the tide and just look for sells off of any bounce. So undecided yet. But UAE accelerates plan to increase its oil production capacity. Interesting. Huh. They're the ones, if I remember correctly, that wanted to cut production. Are they not? So they could hold up oil prices? Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. All right, well, I guess the market obviously sees that as bearish, and so it's continuing down. Let's hop on the daily and see what's going on the daily right here. This zone from 82, or I guess 83 to 81, Going to be an important area to keep an eye on. This previous lone ranger, this bearish candle here, is where we had this wick and all this dip buying. This is where we had last week's low, or I guess 2 weeks ago, and the dip buy. It's where we're actually dipping into right now. 82.98, strong area, looking left as well, back from 2009, back from 2014, 2007. I don't want to sell into this. It's just, it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, I'd wait for dust to settle. Probably the best plan of action, honestly, like the best play would honestly try to be looking for a rebound, shorts off the rebound, but overnight push could be due to lack of London session traders coming in with volume and buying. Yeah, there's a pound holiday today, so there's already a lower volume in the market, so traders over in overseas with the pounds not trading today, seems like. So there's already less volume overnight. And so, I mean, who's buying it? I mean, there's already less volume, right? So on your point, it's just going to, I guess, fall, right? Because who the fuck's going to buy it here? And so as we come into New York session, 8 o'clock, I'd expect a little bit of a rally out of this 81 to 83 zone that we're dipping into now. I'd expect New York volume, some potentially profit taking from overnight, New York volume to push it up a little bit. And so honestly, as much as I don't want to do it, probably going to be the best place for me this morning are going to be buys off these lows. It's going to be a risky play, but I don't want to sell in this area here. So I'm either going to look for buys out of here, or I'm just going to be patient and wait for it to bounce out of here, then look for sells for a little bit of a continuation back down. It's going to be a tough one. We'll have to kind of play it by ear. But if you look at the hourly chart's printed straight bearish candles since the overnight Asian session here. 30-minute, almost complete straight 30-minute bearish selling as well. A couple outliers in here, but very weak outliers. Sitting oversold on most of the time frames here, so gonna be a fun trader. 82.47. This big wick here. I'm marking off points that I'd consider dip buying. This area 82.47, 82.12, and then 81.90. 3 points of interest here for dip buying. But there's obvious extreme bearish pressure in here. Higher time frames aren't oversold yet as far as the 4-hour and daily. Obviously not the daily, but the 4-hour. I don't really care about the daily right now because I'm gonna be trading intraday. I'm not swinging, so looking for a little bit of a bounce out of here. Not quite yet though. Probably when New York session comes in around 8:30. Yeah, I'm gonna probably look for a bounce play today. Gonna be risky, but it's too tough to sell after this big of a move and after entering this pretty strong area of rejection. Looking back in 2021 and beginning of 2022, strong area rejection. Now looking at beginning of September here. This whole zone I'd expect some dip buying in here. Because honestly, once we break 81, oil's done, right? I mean, it's done. It's going back down to like low to mid 70s. So I'd expect there would be a little bit of a battle in this zone in here. And so I'll be looking to accumulate some longs as we push lower in here. Point of control, so an 85 all the way back up here. Let's look at the day's point of control. Overnight point of control, 85.57 area. Looking at last week's point of control, yeah, even sitting even higher. So yeah, it's like a rubber band, right? You get stretched so far and extended so far that it gets snapped back. Looking at VWAP still sitting at 84.40. So it's getting pretty overextended here. Probably want to scale into this one. Oh man. Not entering yet. Not entering yet, but I'm gonna look to enter soon. Where we're sitting right now seems to be showing some pretty strong dip buying and support in here. Going to give it a shot here first. And see where we're sitting. Yeah, this is a pretty strong pivot point here. So we'll give it a shot here. And then looking for a bounce play back up to 83.16 area. 83.40. I'm not looking for a massive move, but entry point is sitting at, well, I guess the futures price is sitting at 82.41. 82.41. This is my entry point on oil longs. And so the way I'm gonna trade this one is, so my longs are sitting right around like here, somewhere right around here. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this one go. If we start breaking through the lows here, I'm gonna let it go. then I'll look to re-enter. Not really necessarily going to scale into this one because there's too big of a range here that I could scale into. Like if I buy here, buy here, buy here, it could just go all the way down. So I want to look to just hop in and out on this one if it starts continuing lower. Yeah. While we sit in this, I'll probably look for a run back up towards point of control. It'll be something like this. Something like this, about 3-to-1 play. All right, so while we're sitting this and letting oil play out, let's take a look at gold and see what gold potentially has in store for us today. All right, looking at the weekly chart, a lot of lines in here. Cool, a lot of lines. I'm going to delete some of them. There's too many. Let's get rid of. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Get rid of you. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. All right, cool. So, looking at current price action on the weekly, last week, pretty strong bearish close below. I mean, look, this area here, we closed below it. This whole 1680 to 1700 zone, strongest area of dip buying and support that we have found. But obviously gold, it's not poised to go up right now because nobody wants it up. If people wanted this up, it would be going up, and so and it's not. And looking at this trend line here, strong trend line dating back from 2015. We broke below it. We just now broke below it for the first time since 2018. And last time we broke below it, we had a nice continuation down. We had a nice about 82 point move to the downside. Have a good one, Berta. Thanks for tuning in. And so 82 pips or 82 points to the downside would give us around 1600, which I could see. I mean, looking at this previous area where we had some wicks before, this zone is going to be an area to keep an eye on. And so I see a continuation down. Right now, as long as gold remains and rejecting below 1673, which is where we saw current weekly, gave us a wick to that level, and we're now pushing down, filling this last week's bottom wick already. Looking at the daily, Friday came up, gave us a retest of this breakdown here. And then current daily rejected that, and we're now heading back down towards the lows. And so I'd expect a continuation down from here. Really. Cool. So looking at intraday price action here, 4 hour coming into an area of support. Thursday and Friday struggled in this zone, 1660 zone. We're now sitting in this area of support. It's going to be a tough sell today. The sells were really overnight. There was a lot of overnight volume right now in oil and gold. Sorry, I was setting my stop loss for oil in case it pushes lower. There was a lot of overnight volume in gold and oil, so it's going to be tough sells for both of them today. They're both at pretty important areas of support. So honestly, I'll probably look for a gold bounce as well. As much as I want to sell it, I don't think the sells are going to be very easy today. Yeah, so I'll look for gold longs in this area here. As we start approaching this previous support zone, we're more or less at it now, 1660. I'll look for longs for a bounce back out of here, maybe towards like 1668, upper end of this consolidation zone in here. We're going to wait, though. Hourly closes in about a minute and a half. So we're going to have some fresh New York volume come into play soon for gold and oil. Pound yen, taking a look at pound yen. Pound yen sells look decent. I want to look to take a sell on pound yen soon. I'm not taking any positions in front of this hourly close, but pound yen sells look good. Euro JPY is coming down, could potentially have some nice buys. Oil, nice retest and rejection of the wicks in here. A minute left till the hourly close, and another 30 and 15 minute close. All right, 10 seconds left. 8 o'clock volume's coming in. I'd honestly like to see COMEX open for gold, give us a little bit of a rally and profit taking. Nice close on oil, pretty strong 5-minute rejection on oil, so we'll see if we can get a little bit of a squeeze out of here. Gold, pretty strong hourly bearish close. However, strong, decent 30-minute and 15-minute close at support here. So probably going to look to scale into longs on this one. took a long on oil here, or oil, or the long oil. Took a long on gold here. Going to see if this one, if I can scale into this one at support here. I want to see us hold this rejection zone that we're now sitting at. I could be a little early on this one, but overall I think oil and gold could have some nice potential. Bounce plays. Set my take profit and stop loss real quick. Okay. Set. Gold, I'm gonna look for gold. I'm gonna look for a run back up towards 1665 area. Got all of them set. Oil's rallying out of here pretty nicely. Set my take profit on this one as well. All right, everything is set. I'm gonna take profit and stop loss. Gold's gonna look something like this. Long position on gold. Right, actually sitting at break even right now. Yeah, right in here. Gonna be about a 2.5 to 1 on gold longs. Oil longs around 3 to 1. And if I'm a little early on them, I'll look for re-entries later. But overall, we should get some bounce plays out of them. Everything looking like a knife catch. Guess no trading for me. Yeah, everything. If you're swing trading, everything absolutely looks like a knife catch. Absolutely. If you're day trading, they look like you could have some pretty decent like bounce plays out of them today. Between gold and oil, you can get some decent bounce plays, but overall, definitely looking like a knife catch. Actually, might be sitting in my hands till Wednesday to see what Fed does. Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday is definitely lurking overhead. Going to cause some issues in the market, I'd imagine, this week. But that's why there will be pretty quick trades for me this week heading into Fed, because have some issues, I think. Let's see here. Nice run on gold. I'd like to see this pump into COMEX open. Taking a look at the Dow. Dollar's at least showing some signs of topping. I don't know. I don't know. Not really for me yet. Not really showing signs for me yet. I mean, my thing is we had this obviously really strong move here, right? And we didn't even pull back to then potentially go higher. We're just consolidating and flagging right at highs here. Which kind of makes me feel that we're going to get another rally out of here. We're sitting on top of this breakout point. Higher lows. Dixie top row. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for Mark to, dude. I've never seen someone with such a strong bias towards everything. It's so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. Hey, at least you have conviction in everything You're either going down in flames with it or you're riding it in glory. I give you props. It's funny. Yeah. I don't think it topped, but we'll see. There's no signs at all, fundamentally or technically, telling me that it's topped. So I'm not going to try to guess the top here. I'm just going to try to expect the continuation. Gold, waiting for coming. I guess it will depend on the Fed meeting. I'm optimistic about it. Dude, if the Fed hikes 100, then I don't think it's topped. If the Fed doesn't hike 100, then I think that'll be considered dovish, and I think the dollar will have a pullback. It's gonna be interesting. I think the Fed will determine if we've topped or not. Oh, here we go. Talking about moving averages over here. If it ain't doing 175, sure. They're definitely doing 75. I agree. 100's unlikely. I agree. I think we drop off with 75. I do. If we do 50, very, very, very unlikely we do 50. Very unlikely. But if we do 50, then yeah, dollar's dead. We're mooning. The market's mooning. But look, the Fed doesn't want the market up. They want it down right now. And so they would be dumb to do 50. So why not do 100? A surprise 100. But yeah, I think we do 75 as well. They'd be smart to do 75 and hold. I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right, let me take a look at pound yen. I'm not going to overextend myself right now. I'm already in oil and gold longs. So I might come back and trade pound yen once gold and oil play out. We'll see. They're risking a super bad recession, in my opinion. Impact of existing rate hikes are still lagging an impact on the economy. Yeah, I still think we're hitting a recession. I mean, it's just, I think it's inevitable at this point. Obviously, Germany's hitting a fucked up one. I don't know. I think on your point, they're going to push us into a pretty bad one. I've been saying that for a few months now, that I think we're going to be hitting a recession. Seven minutes till COMEX open, where gold could have some good volatility. I think the world's headed towards something more than a recession. Agreed. Yeah, the world's really fucked right now. U.S. has already said if China invades Taiwan, U.S. is going to defend them. We got Ukraine and Russia. We got the energy crisis. We got Germany going into a complete recession. We got the Queen dying. I mean, dude, this whole world is heading into something, and I don't know what it is. But exactly. Oh wait. Oh man, it's just, I miss the days where I would just bike out of my house. I'd have to meet my friends on my bike and go hang out outside and actually just relax and not worry about all the shit that's going on. This world is fucked. My poor daughters will be growing up in I don't know what kind of world. I don't know what. But I was the last good generation. Yeah, gold and oil are just chilling right now. 5 minutes left until COMEX open. Hopefully gold pumps before COMEX open, because I don't really feel like dealing with the volatility that'll come in. Although it's been pretty consolidated the last 5 hours. So maybe you don't go maybe you don't go too crazy. rate increases will be made at varying rates, ECB says. Yeah. They have no idea what they're doing. Getting a little bit of a pop in gold here. 5 minute on your side. Gold, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know about oil, to be honest. Might be a little early on that one, but I think gold should be fine. Oh man. Maybe we'll get I'd like to see some bullish momentum heading into 820 with gold, because typically COMEX Open will give you a little bit of a continuation in the momentum that it's been heading. And I'm hoping we get that bullish continuation, just to push me up towards my take profit. Where are we sitting at? How many pips? I'm sitting around up 15 pips. My stop loss is around 13 pips, so nah, to move to break even, or to not to move. I might move my stop up a little bit, but probably not to break even. Maybe up to around here. Because it's pushing up. Natural gas falling off further too. I look at the 5 minute like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then I realized, yeah, look at the daily. Holy hell. Nice gap over the weekend. Damn. Sitting at this pretty strong area of support though, which is why you're seeing this doji here. Look at this head and shoulders. Didn't really get to form much of the right shoulder. But we gap below, so if we retest the potential shoulder and head down, we could have a nice fall off in that gas, which would be ideal. Didn't have much of a right shoulder, but we had enough, I think. And so if we can retest the neckline and head down, could give us a nice pullback in that gas. $40 seconds left. Gold's just hanging out. 30 seconds. Nice head and shoulders. Yeah, I agree. It is nice. That gas move makes no sense with what's going on in Europe. I know. With the European supply crunch that you're seeing in nat gas, and the massive demand they need, and the pretty shit ass supply, you think you'd be like mooning with nat gas, but yeah, it's gapping down and creating a bearish head and shoulders. So I don't know what's going on with that. 3, 2, 1. COMEX Open. Let's get it. Oh, look at this. Nice. Let's go. Come on. Pump up. Pump up. Give me a run towards my take profit here. I'm going to move my stop to break even at this point. Stop loss sitting at break even. My take profit is sitting at, it's actually sitting right here is where it's sitting. Cool. I hit my take profit. So I'm hit my take profit on gold just now. So we'll throw the money bags. Throw the money bags. Make it rain. Make it rain. Nice take profit on gold. Nice move on gold. That was 0 drawdown. I had about 30 pips on gold, 0 drawdown. Took the longs right here, and it just went straight up. So that was nice. Cue the money, stop. Except I still want the money to rain. All right, nice, almost 3 to 1 on gold here. I'm gonna really be so excited if I wick this out. I just hope it dumps here. I really hope it dumps here. So this was nice. So let me take a look. Oh man, I was going to take a look to see if I can take a short on pound yen, but kind of already going without me. I just don't want to over leverage myself, being in too many positions at once and then having the potential to lose all at once. Thought it would move to 1665, 66. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I have that. That's where my orange. That's where my orange line is right now. Yeah. I did too. That's where I expected going to. I like to front run the levels a little bit. But nice move in gold. Very nice move in gold. Oil just hanging out. Oil's just hanging out. Not much going on in oil right now. Really? It's a fucking thing. There's a downside trend line there along with your support line. Ah, okay. You're referring to maybe this one? Or you're referring to a longer term one? What about this one? No, that's too, nope, not that one. I don't know, this one is nice though, potentially, so, huh. It was even shorter term. This is a nice one. Maybe you're referring to this one right here. I like the longer ones better. I just hope oil, I mean gold. I want gold to just dump from here because I love when I wick the tops. Close to that, yeah, something like that. That is nice. There's silver one day looking better than gold. Is it? Silver's looking way better than gold. Silver's still like holding up highs. Gold's just breaking, dumping lows here. Interesting. So that means the gold to silver ratio must be Coming down, yeah. Still elevated, but coming down. So that means either gold dumps even more, which is likely, or silver pumps. But I think gold's likely to dump even more. Silver's just chilling while gold's having a nice move. Gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Be right back. Damn. Damn, okay. Okay, gold. I see you looking for that longer term trend line. Silver maybe catching some wind off that tan theme. Yeah, I think silver's hanging on a little bit based off of solar. Oh man. Maybe if I leave, oil will do something. Man, pound yen falling off. Would have been a nice short. I wish I would have taken it. Oh well. I missed it. Whatever. Here JPY looking for longs on the pullback. Oil requires number 2. Say less. If that's all it requires, I will be right back. Say less. I want to leave it sitting right here. And we'll see if your theory works or not. Oh. Oh. Board alarm. Board alarm. What just happened? I'm gonna rebuy here. I'm gonna take another long. What the fuck was that? That's board alarm's fault. I'm gonna blame that loss 100% on board alarm. 100% of that loss is blamed on board alarm. Oh man, that was nasty. Was there a news or was that just a stop hunt? Seems like there was no news. And it just wanted to get me out. But I'm back in, baby. But I might not be back in for long. Stop's gonna be, I'm gonna keep buying this thing until it works, and then I'll make a bunch of money on it. Stop's gonna be probably like, probably right around here ish. Whoop. Right around here. Yeah. I see no news. Yeah, I don't either. I think that was just a massive, just like move from this accumulation here. Maybe some stop hunts. I don't know. But that was dirty. That was dirty. Going to give it another try. So. What is the ES doing? No, it's hanging out. Just looked at the SPX 15 minute, zoomed out. Crazy volume last 15 minute on Friday. Oh, what? Damn this. Huh. Look at the gap down there. Strong volume last 15 minutes, then nice big gap down. Not that big, but. You need to actually have a volume chart on? Yeah, I don't know what those are. I don't know what those are. I don't use volume. I guess I'll put it on just for you. I'll put it on just for you. Damn. Damn. Damn, look at Apple's volume close. Shit. Oh, God. Look at that massive sell volume when Apple and Google at the close. Oh, God. Damn. 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 SPX? Shit's dirty. Holy shit. All right, let's see. Oil. Long entry was right here. Let's make it purple. That purple line's my entry point on the new oil position. I'm gonna play it like martingale. So I just doubled up. Looking for something like what, 5 minutes, something like this, something like this. It's gonna be about a 2.5 to 1. Something, yeah, it looks like something like this is what I'm looking for this oil play. All right, oil, let's go. Bring stop up to break even. Oh yeah, good point. Good point. Stops at break even. Good point. See, I knew there's a reason I kept you around, Borlam. I knew there was a reason I kept you around. That's it. Stops up to break even. Yeah, stops up to break even. So it'd be nice if it would just pop my take profit real quick. Came so close. That came so close. Come on now. Maybe if I take this line off, it'll break through it. All right, I took the line off, so it can go up now. I took my line off. So now it has free range to go up. See, I took the line off, and here we go. It's all because I took that line off. Now it's going to go up. I tagged that 742 top wick. Did it? Oh, yeah. You mean wick top? Wick bottom? That's fine, but I'm not putting a line there because if I put a line there, it'll reject it because they love rejecting my lines. As you can see, loves rejecting my lines. So bottoms. Yeah, no, I figured you meant bottom. I figured maybe you were like hanging upside down or something. What's gold doing? Oh, nice. Gold's just hanging out. Dixie's chilling. Ouch. 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 Come on, baby. Come on. And it's going to hit my take profit in 3, 2, 1. 1/2. A quarter. An eighth. 1/16. 132. 5, 4. Oh, it hit it. Yep. Yep, it hit my take profit. Alright, we'll throw the money bags around again. We're flying the money around today. Don't even mess with me today, bro. Don't even mess with me today. We throwing money on the screen left and right. I'm done for the day. There's a 10-second delay on the stream to when I see it and it hit right at 3. Haha. That's right. That's funny. I forgot there's a delay. Man, oh man. Don't mess with me today. I'm on fire. Yeah, I'm done for the day though. I had a beautiful gold long. That was around 3 to 1, I believe. Oil, beautiful oil long. This was around I think a 2.5 to 1. I had an oil loss earlier. It was something like, I don't know. It was something like this, right? I don't know, something like this. Yeah, I had 2 3 to 1 wins and 1 loss. I count that a nice day. I count that as a nice day, and it's only 8:51. I'm done early, so I'm gonna call it a day. We're gonna leave it there. I don't care what it does the rest of the day. I don't care what anything does. I made my money and I'm hopping off. So yeah. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you at 1 o'clock. See you at the 1 o'clock Vant put show. See you again tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your day.